It is officially that season, the season of a holly jolly and joy, and I come bearing a gift. That being not having to experience Mortal Kombat 1's first and what I hope to be the last expansion, Chaos Reigns. But hold on, before everybody gets in the comments dogpiling on the DLC, I want to say that I had a pretty good time with it and I will share to you how I did that like this here. If you buy the DLC a month later half off, you'll have a good time. If you went into the DLC fully expecting a horrible and pretty pointless story because, what, they're gonna write MK11 Aftermath and 1 and then spin back with a banger? Then you'll have a good time. And finally, if you plan to delete the game right after beating the story and messing around with the characters for like an hour, you'll have a good time. The 6 ladies that watch me and the remaining gentlemen, let's take a moment to bow our heads in silence for the ones that spent $110 for the base game and another $50 for this DLC. And that's enough. So I really don't know where to start with this DLC. Just to be clear, Chaos Reigns is a big old expansion for Mortal Kombat 1. It comes with more story mode chapters that look like they take place like a few months after MK1. You remember how at the end of MK1 we were fighting Titan Shang Tsung and the story fell apart? Well now, there's a Titan Havik. He's causing trouble. The rest of the expansion is a collection of characters. We got my Pookie Bear, Noob Saibot. We got Cyrex, Sector, Ghostface from Scream. For some reason, the T-1000 Terminator and Conan the Barbarian are here. I'm gonna dedicate an entire section to these characters because there is something to say about every single one of them. But all of this was available to purchase at a small price of $50 on September 24th of 2024. Music, $50 was the first red flag this DLC faced. I do see why it's $50. Love it or hate it, it's a story mode and there's like 6 characters. Teams of people had to write scripts, voice over hundreds of lines, spend a billion years in Blender just to make Noobs' fingers move. There was marketing, editing, trailers to be made, and people need to get paid for that. Because the second that some news breaks out that NetherRealm is treating their employees like Mappa when they went back to back with Attack on Titan and Jujutsu Kaisen, it's gonna be an uproar. My problem is that after playing this DLC, hell, the second I saw its content, I knew it was not worth 50 to me, or really anybody, let's be honest. Mortal Kombat's writing team sucks. You would have an easier time in the ring one-on-one with Prime Mike Tyson than getting a good story mode out of them. So off rip, the story mode is out, not worth the money at all. And personally, I know for a fact which of these characters I'm gonna play. The only 2 I really want are Ghostface and Noob. The rest I'll mess around with, sure, but it's not happening in the long run. Like, why lie to myself, bro? I know what I'm gonna do. So in my mind, they want me to pay $50 for 2 characters in a story mode that I might as well watch on YouTube. But here's the crazy thing, right? Here's what makes the situation scary. Not only did the DLC go on sale from $50 to $30 like a month after its release, they started selling the DLC characters individually. Brother, right now, if you don't care about the story, you can just buy Cyrex, Sector, or Noob for $8 a pop. Editing update, you can now buy Ghostface separately too, which means you can get Conan and the T-1000 separately too when they come out. So what you're telling me is, what you're bargaining to me, is that we can split up the DLC and charge individually. Brother, I would have given them money instantly if I could just buy the story for like $10 to $15 and get Noob for $8. That's a good deal to me. Way better than $50. Like, I don't know how it is for you, but I only played through the story modes one time. The only reason I have multiple runs in Mortal Kombat 1 story is because I made videos about it. And when it comes to the combat packs, it's always the same deal. I mess around with a few of the characters, and ultimately I main like one of them. And that's fine. I like that. I don't have any problem with that. The problem with MK1 is that the game is just bad. The biggest indicator of that is that so little people bought Chaos Reigns that now there's rumors that NetherRealm is outright canceling the second expansion and Combat Pack 3. I get that there's a lot of people that like the game, love it, but it's getting to a point where people aren't even angry at the game anymore. They're just not buying it. They're not playing it. Then 2025 is looking stacked to the brim with games. I'm talking banger after banger after banger. Then if we're really lucky, we might get GTA 6 with no delays. So I'm genuinely asking, what is Mortal Kombat 1 supposed to do? But I'm gonna get into the actual story now. It's really funny and wacky, but if I'm being serious, this story is atrocious. I don't want or need Mortal Kombat to write an epic Game of Thrones type story with deep characters or intertwining plots. I just want them to make something solid, something average, and move on. But time and time again, they choose these high stakes, world threatening plots that don't do anything but make them have to reset the entire universe. Nobody is asking or begging them to make these crazy big stories. They just keep doing it and it's not working, and they do it over and over and over. But okay, let's get into the first part of the story to see what they had cooking up. Brother Bihan is so mad over that he's planning on ambushing Kuai Liang at his wedding. This man is so insane that he's going to ruin the best day ever of not only his brother's life, but now technically his sister's life. And this is what I'm talking about. That's a good story. That's something to build upon right there. The story opens with Cyrax running for her life. Yes, her life. I know, bro. We're gonna talk about it in a minute. Let me chill for a minute. Damn. Cyrax is running and breathing so hard that I know her helmet is foggier than Silent Hill. She stops to get it together and asks Sector where she is. Sector responds by sending missiles after her, and Cyrax has to activate friction assist to outmaneuver them. She gets to cover behind a tree and tells Sector to come out and fight. Sector again chooses the violent option. And now I'm like, okay, gang, what can Cyrax's suit do? Because it's looking like Sector took all the good blueprints, and it's looking like that's actually the case because Cyrax can't do anything but watch in horror as the missiles come for her. At this point, she's just trying to survive till she can't.
Are absolutely cooked, chat. GG.
Sector sees her on the ground and just shakes her head, disappointed. Cyrax is like, you know, there are rules, Sector. If you're nothing without this suit, then you shouldn't have it. You are not Tony Stark. You will never be him. You're right. I'm the upgrade. So they start going at it, but right before Ed Boon lets me play, Cyrax says to Sector, and I quote, "You are my instructor and commander. Don't confuse that with being my superior." Dude, that's literally what being your superior would imply. Do you want somebody who can't teach or command you to be your superior? Nah, because the writers thought that they ate right there, and they didn't. So Cyrax is the first of the new characters that we get to play as. In the DLC, we'll get to play as her, Noob, and Sector. But Cyrax has all the same stuff that a Cyrax normally has. The spinning blades, bombs, rope trap thing. If you're familiar with the cyborgs, you'll notice that their special moves aren't coming from their body. You know, like, look at this. That's because they're not cyborgs or fully robots. I mean, it's heavily implied that this is only the early stages of the Lin Kuei Cyber Initiative, so we'll see how far they decide to take it. My guess is that they probably won't go full chrome, because Cyrax never wants to be a cyborg in the first place in any timeline, or at least I think so. And I'ma spoil it for you right now. Sector is known to glaze the Lin Kuei without question, but now he is a she, and she's taken an extra interest in Beyond, so I don't know what's gonna happen with that whole situation unless Serena comes up and she's like, "Hey, Beyond, let me talk to you." So as it stands now, Sector may be inclined to stay human. So I'll beat Sector, right? She's like, "That's good, but you could be better." And Cyrax is mad, saying, "You can send me home." But Sector made a promise to Cyrax's parents. If you go on the Mortal Kombat website and read her bio, her job is literally to serve under Sector, which makes her earlier statement even more confusing. Like, you signed up for this. You're the intern. But Sector promised Cyrax's parents that she'd make Cyrax one of the Lin Kuei's best ninjas. And as she says that, the forest around them fades away. It was fake, and Beyond himself walks up from the shadows. Bro is clearly up to no good because this is the first time I have ever seen him smile. He starts thanking Sector for making this VR room and the exosuits. He even puts his hand on her shoulder, and you know she's internalizing all of that, bro. She's a goblin. The suits they're wearing right now are prototypes. Sector wants to start mass producing these things for everybody in the Lin Kuei, but Beyond is like, nah. We gotta put him to the test first. And this is where he drops his master plan to finish Kuai Liang once and for all at his wedding. But Cyrax is being a normal, rational person. We can't just attack weddings, Beyond. That's not chill at all. You should know all about that. Just so you know, if you watched the first video, Beyond didn't tell Cyrax the reason why Kuai Liang left. He lied and said that Kuai Liang betrayed us, and now we gotta go pack him up. But if you remember from the first video, Beyond betrayed the whole realm the first chance he got. Diabolical. He did tell Sector though, because Sector will go along with whatever he says. I can't stress that enough, bro. Through every single timeline, Sector is the biggest Lin Kuei glazer. It is a universal constant, a demand that Sector eats, dreams, and breathes Lin Kuei. But upon hearing this disrespect, it wasn't disrespect, it was rational thought. If I want to attack my brother's wedding, I'll attack my brother's wedding, Cyrax. It's not even a real name. As Cyrax leaves, Sector says that Cyrax will eventually find out, but Beyond is smiling again like, bro, I know you have nothing planned. Stop it. So fast forward a day and we see Raiden pacing around reciting lines for the wedding. They got Raiden to officiate the wedding, so that's what he was doing at the end of the main game. Bro was getting ordained. Johnny, Kenshi, and Kung Lao were there too. Liu Kang and Geras got called away to Outworld, so it's just them and the ninjas for now. So Raiden is real nervous because he's never done this before, but Johnny is like, well, that's too bad because here they come. Behold, my brethren, Kuai Liang and Harumi as they walk down the aisle. May we all find such prosperity. This is still crazy to me though. The Justice for Hanzo movement is still in full effect. Honestly, I don't care that Kuai Liang is Scorpion, because I know they're just gonna give Hanzo ice powers or make him Scorpion again anyway. And if all else fails, we can always count on a universe reset every 10 years. And then there's the fact that this is a fighting game. Like, this right here is what you're doing for 99% of the time. As I'm getting violently beaten to a pulp, does it matter to me that that's Kuai Liang right there? No, bro, I'm getting and I'm angry for other reasons. But marrying Kuai Liang to Harumi and giving him the Shirai Ryu, now that's crazy, bro. When did the first game come out, bro? Hold on. 1992, bro. 3 decades, almost 4, and I can't keep my wife? Damn! And I thought they would do more with Kuai Liang being Scorpion. Maybe Liu Kang has some grand plan for them that would be super exciting to see, but I don't think so, bro. At this point, it feels like they just did it just to do it, just to say, hey, we did something different, you know? But hey, bro, there's still Mortal Kombat 2. Maybe they got something cooking up later on, I don't know. But since we're on the characters anyway, yeah, they swapped Cyrax and Sector from men to women. I agree with what the fans were saying, bro. They should just make new characters. But personally, I don't want new characters, bro. If NetherRealm just wanted 2 female characters for the DLC, that's all you had to say. I say, bring back Serena, Jade, Scarlet. I've actually grown to like Cassie a little bit more after playing X. We're doing the multiverse thing anyway. Like, bro, we got the multiverse going. Let's really get it started. What are you talking about? But I'm gonna get back to the story because the Lin Kuei have stormed the wedding grounds. Bi-Han is walking in, slamming the extras. And Sector wants to be Iron Man so bad, and Cyrax is doing the absolute most. But Cyrax, right, she locks eyes with the gang. Johnny sees her and is like, oh nah, we're not doing the red wedding. Then Kung Lao says, red what? Then Johnny starts explaining the Game of Thrones lore as Raiden comes up and tells them both to lock in. I'm explaining all of this because as they're speaking, the Lin Kuei are slaughtering the wedding guests. Body by body, him, her, all of that. But Kuai Liang tells Harumi to stay safe and darts off. Crazy as hell leaving her wife on her own during a fight like this, but it's okay because Harumi can fight. Finally, so the cyborgs get in the thick of it with Johnny and Smoke. Smoke has little to no lines in this DLC, massive L, but I actually really like Cyrax's gameplay. You can throw bombs and then she'll leave them when she teleports, and when you grab, she has this little spin. Yeah, they got Harumi. She can fight. I never said she was good at it. Hell, they're even going for the finisher, but Cyrax is like, no, that is not the Miyagi-Do way. It stops the ninjas. Sector comes out the cut and says, what are you doing, Cyrax? Before Cyrax can answer, Harumi slides out of nowhere and kicks Cyrax in the face. I mean Sector. I don't have the footage on me right now. I'm just looking at the scripts where it could really be either one of them, bro. I don't really know. Either way, Cyrax has to go her. But Sector is heated at Cyrax for protecting Harumi. But Cyrax says we're here for Kuai Liang and Thomas because they broke the Lin Kuei code. And Harumi is only attacking because duh, like, oh, let me just sit back and let these ninjas send rockets, icicles, and goo bombs on my wedding. And Sector short circuits at the mere mention of logic and empathy. So Kuai Liang pops up ready to fight them. I beat Scorpion, right? Bi-Han walks up, looks down at him, says, it's over, Kuai Liang. This sudden fate must be chilling. Now Kuai Liang is struggling to breathe, I think. Like, what would you call this? Bi-Han then looks at Cyrax and tells her to take him out, but Harumi breaks free and gets in front of Cyrax. She questions why Cyrax is listening to Bi-Han when Bi-Han clearly has no honor. Bi-Han says, strike her down, Cyrax, and free her of this cold realm. And this is when Kuai Liang realizes that Bi-Han did not tell Cyrax the whole truth, so he spills the beans. Bi-Han joins Shang Tsung. He wants to take over Earthrealm. He let Father, aka the past Grandmaster, perish by some means. I don't know how, but Bi-Han could have stopped it, but he didn't. Bi-Han is just evil. So Cyrax is like, damn. And solos Bi-Han and Sector. She goes to apologize to Kuai Liang, but he's still hella mad because she just attacked his wedding. That's not chill at all. So as a compromise, Cyrax is ready to accept her fate by Kuai Liang's blade. But Harumi gets him to calm down and let her live because, unlike Bi-Han and Sector, Cyrax is actually sorry. We don't have to end the wedding with more bodies. Kuai Liang apologizes to Raiden and the gang for getting them mixed up in this 1,000-year bloodline war. Kuai Liang says he'll handle his brother and hold on, Kuai Liang. That wouldn't move the DLC story forward. How on earth could we charge $50 and have it end here? No, we're gonna take them to Empress Melina. Yeah, that's right, Melina is now Empress. With my beloved... This shouldn't have went down the way it did. With Sindel's passing, Melina had to step up. Enjoy it, because they rushed Bi-Han to Noobs Saibot, so who knows what they're gonna do to Melina. So because Bi-Han joined Shang Tsung, that kinda makes him an enemy of the entire timeline. So Liu Kang brings him and Sector to Melina so they can hash this out. Melina says off with their heads. But Liu Kang is against that. It's not the Miyagi-Do way. Katana agrees to show mercy, but Melina is hesitant on it because they showed mercy to Shao Kahn. But bro pulled a Joker and went right back to waging war with Edenia, and now Katana has to hunt him down all over again. If you're interested in that plotline, you can see it all happening in Katana's arcade ending. Yeah, Shao Kahn is straight wildin', bro. He gets Reiko to go tame Onaga, but Onaga breaks free, so now Onaga's just roaming around again. I don't know what the hell is happening, but I kinda agree with Melina. They gotta get bro out the way. Only because NetherRealm decided to make Bi-Han ultra evil in this timeline. In other timelines, to my knowledge, Bi-Han is out of pocket, but he's reasonable. redeemable. It's only when he becomes Noob that bro is completely evil. That's a problem that a lot of people, myself included, have with this version of Bihan. It's even worse now because he's going to become Noob Saibot in this DLC. And when you see how Noob acts versus how Bihan acts, there's literally no difference. It's just Bihan with new powers. Bro basically looks himself up and down and says, oh, this is lit as hell, I'm finna get Davius. Matter of fact, in Mortal Kombat 11, Sub-Zero's ending had Kuai Liang using all his new time powers, not to make some big change to the timeline, but he was so sure that Bihan was a good guy just led astray that he scoured all through Bihan's life over and over until he found a way to prevent bro from embracing the dark side. And he did. Rather easily. Now they protect Earthrealm together instead of fighting each other. I don't know if they could do something like that with this Bihan because he's already evil. He's already Noob. Chat, am I spitting or not? Am I based? I just really wanted a good version of Bihan this time around, and I'm not getting it. So the gang can't agree on what to do, but scrap this entire plot line. Everything we just saw doesn't matter. Get it out the window, get it out of here. Because a purple portal spawns in the throne room and out comes Titan Havik. Bro basically says, I need your Gearus. Now you can either hand him over or I can take him. We're not gonna hand him over, so you know what that means, bro. We're gonna have to get into the Mortal Kombat. But real quick, just so you know, Titan Havik was at the big battle at the Armageddon Tower, you remember that? He really dug that, like he was really into that, and he wants more, so he's gonna need Gearus for that. But as you can see, he already has a Gearus, so why does he want ours? I'll tell you later. The room is in all-out disarray. The monks are fighting for their lives. Bihan and Sector are like, alright, we're done, and break out very easily and help Tanya and... I know y'all see Chameleon. No, I know she'd want me to move on, but I'm just not ready. Sector goes up to Chameleon and says, let real warriors handle this. Gang, what are you without that suit? Worthless. Bihan and Tanya charge Havik's Gearus. It's not going their way. They are both trash. Remember when Miles did that useless backflip as Peter's limp body was thrown at him? Is Bihan not exhibiting the same behavior with this ice ball? Who is he aiming at? Then Gearus grabs him and delivers a two-piece right to his spinal cord. Tanya distracts bro long enough for Bihan to freeze his hands, but Gearus is on a different mental plane. Bro sees this problem as a future solution and beams Tanya in the face. Tanya and Bihan gotta take a seat on the bench. Every fight they get into turns out like this. They even helped each other and still folded. Two wrongs don't make a right. Chameleon is holding it down though, till she's not. Sector has to save her, and is that Jade's staff? They will do anything but drop Jade in Mortal Kombat 1. But even if they do drop characters like Michael Myers, Doom Guy, Jade, guess what? They're stuck in Mortal Kombat 1. So I finally get to use Sector. And I guess I wasn't joking when I said that she took all the good blueprints. Brother, Sector has flamethrowers, a shotgun, a claw machine, the Hammer of Dawn from Gears of War. And look at these stages. The one thing this DLC does flawlessly is the stages. Like, look at these. Somebody cooked here. But the fight starts to slow down with Liu Kang and the Shaolin getting put to shame by Titan Havik. Chameleon is getting ready to spear some of Havik's goons, but evil Gearus puts her in the time lock. Then he tries to push a whole pillar on her, but Sector catches it with missiles. In the end, Havik's men get the best of Liu Kang and Havik's men drag Gearus into the chaotic abyss. Havik follows, and so does this dummy Bihan. Bro really slides over to Havik quick as hell and is mid-air with an ice hammer. And yeah, he goes through the portal too. Bro, look at the terror on Sector's face. What is she gonna do without her role model? The camera actually lingers on her face for a really long time. It's like they really wanted to show off the new face technology. You know, I've seen a lot of people call this game ugly, and I'm just like, bro, this game has a lot of issues, a long list of issues. Graphics aren't really one of them. Unless you're on the Switch thing.
What is that?
My problem is that the game doesn't really have that vibe to it anymore, that old MK spooky vibe to it, you know, that atmosphere. The game looks good, but it's too happy. So Bihan is trapped in Havik's timeline and bro stands no chance. After the fight, Melina seizes Sector, but Katana is like, hold Melina. She helped us fight against Havik. Okay, she only did that because Havik's men were coming after everybody. They weren't gonna care that her and Bihan were in chains, like, oh no, you're busy, I'm sorry, let me just go over here and do something else. But Liu Kang says that they're gonna need Sector's help to get Bihan back, and Melina's like, fine. Then we see Bihan getting dragged through the halls of chaos. There's Gearus over there, they locked him up in a machine. I don't know what they got going on, but it's not looking good for him. Then they chain Bihan to a table, put him upside down. Yeah, he's cooked. You wanna know how I got this chaos, Bihan? This is Thomas's fault. Damn him. Well, Bihan, my father wasn't a very chaotic man. Very by the books. He goes to work, packs the same lunch, comes home by 5 p.m. 6 days a week, every week. But every Sunday, Bihan, he binges Skibbity Toilet. One day, I gathered the gumption to walk tall to my father, and I ask him, I say, Father, why so skibbity? My father gets on one knee, eye level, and says to me, Havik, you're a good man. but every so often, a good man has got to get bad. I see a lot of you and me, Bihan. I know exactly who you are. You're a good man in a cruel world. And we're gonna bring it out of you. I'm sorry, bro. It's just that the plot after this point sucks. I gotta make my own fun, bro. Like, what do you want me to do? For anybody that's real familiar with Mortal Kombat, I know you see the literal Kami Dogu right there. I only know them from Deception when Shujinko was getting played. A lot of people joked and said, oh yeah, they got the Infinity Stones in Mortal Kombat now. Ha ha he. They kinda are. Like, I don't really know how else to explain them. Besides opening portals to other realms, I'm not really sure what they do, but Onaga had them and he was ready to take over the world, so I know it's real bad. Havik wants to use them and Geras to open up portals, so you know, Armageddon forever and all that. I'ma just say it, bro. Havik is so lame as a villain. Oh no, a random titan has appeared out of nowhere and threatens every single timeline with annihilation or subjugation. That's literally the same thing that just happened. You know, I was fine when they said the timeline split in two when Shang Tsung and Liu Kang fought at the end of Aftermath. It was just them at the edge of time and it split. That's cool, that's fine, I can work with that. Sure, it derailed Mortal Kombat 1's plot and we went right back to old problems, but surely we beat him and that officially closes the chapter of the last timeline and we can move on and fully embrace this new era. No, because then they say that every single Mortal Kombat character won the fight with Kronika, or Shang Tsung, maybe both, but they're all Titans now. And when I say every character in Mortal Kombat, I mean every character. Havik wasn't even in the last game and he's a Titan. Brother hasn't been in a Mortal Kombat game since Armageddon. What was that, 2006? 7? And he's a Titan. I was joking when I said it in the last video, but genuinely, there might be a Titan Jason Voorhees out there. But this also means that there's a Titan Omni-Man, Homelander, Ghostface. It's anybody's game. That's probably Mortal Kombat's biggest problem when it comes to the writing. They don't know when to stop. Who's to say another Titan Havik doesn't pop up and make trouble? Remember when Kronika was introduced as the one and only Titan, and then by the end of MK11 now there's Titans everywhere? What are the rules? Like, what if we beat this Havik and the timeline splits again? You know, like the same thing with Shang Tsung. We beat him, but a version of him wins that fight and follows through with his plan and then comes to our timeline. What's stopping that from happening? What's stopping any evil Mortal Kombat character from popping into this timeline and raising hell? Nothing. The only reason I'm making so much of a fuss about this is because games take forever to make nowadays, and they're wasting valuable time with these aggressively bad stories. It's not the early 2000s or the 90s anymore, gang. We can't make a Mortal Kombat that's and then spin back next year with improvements. And yeah, Mortal Kombat 1 came out kinda close to 11, but that's only because Injustice 3 was sacrificed for it. And don't get excited. Don't be like, yeah, we should have got Injustice instead of this. If this is the caliber of Mortal Kombat that they released to the world, a massive series that's decades old at this point and still remains relevant, Injustice 3 would have stood no chance. I don't even think we can afford a bad Injustice. One bad Injustice, and I think WB might shelf the series forever. I hope they take as much time as they want on that game because, brother, I'm scared. So back to the story, bro. Liu Kang and Mileena are now forced to send a team to Havik's timeline to get Bihan and maybe stop Havik. Liu Kang can't go because he fears another Titan might drop in while he's away. That's what I was talking about. Where does it end? And Mileena can't go because she's the Empress. Katana can't go either because she's the leader of the military now. Everybody's employed now. But Kuai Liang is good to go because he's a ninja. Stealth and extraction are like their thing. But Liu Kang wants Kuai Liang to take Cyrax and Sector. He says, no, I'll go alone. Usually I would say that's pretty dumb, but they did just attack his wedding like an hour ago. Would anybody be rational? Where's Reptile at? Where's Ashura at? Where's Tamas? Don't tell me we don't have options. But Liu Kang reminds him that Cyrax has shown remorse and Sector is a fiend for Bihan, so there will be no shenanigans. So he's like, alright then, bro, go get him. He meets them and I'm sorry, I got the mission objective wrong. The mission is only to get Geras. But Sector's like, we gotta get Bihan. Look at the face she's making, bro. Like, Sector's faces are so funny. Like, there's one more at the end of the DLC that had me dying. So they make it to the timeline and it's low-key vibey. Cyrax is touching the water and I can't imagine what brain-eating amoeba festers in there. I'm gonna play you this scene real quick though.
No distractions, either of you.
He scolds me like some new initiate?
He scolds you like somebody that just tried to at his wedding 3 hours ago. You know what? I'ma just move on, bro. Cause it's like I could speak in circles about it, but it's like it's no point. Like, what's wrong with her? This is where I gotta speed it up though, because so much happens, but it means so little that I just don't care. If I had to bet money, I would say about 70% of this DLC won't be relevant in the ongoing story. So I'm gonna try and waste as little of your time as possible. So the trio is now in Havik's chaos realm or whatever, and they don't have the slightest idea to even begin to know where to search for Geras. Like, look around. where are we? However, the plot has the plot. They run into this random Johnny Cage that just so happens to be part of a resistance group that hates Havik, the other members being versions of Rain and Tanya that are married. But not only are they married, they're also the Emperor and the Empress of their timeline. Havik came in and ruined that. Yeah, so they got beef with him. I actually really like them. They're really nice. And their fits are really good too. Like Rain has these glowing eyes and tats. And Tanya has the whole arcane Mel gold makeup going on. I really like it. I love it. Yeah, guess what's gonna happen to them? Tanya isn't here though. She's been captured by Havik and is forced to fight in the Chaos Pits. So Rain is like, help me get Tanya back and we'll have the forces needed to stop Havik. Yes, when I said resistance, it's just these three. They're the only members. I know Johnny is only here because they want some comedic relief. I think him being here is a complete waste. He doesn't really do anything. You know what would have been really fun? If they had a hero version of Bihan show up. Yeah, just to really mess with Kuai Liang's feelings. So we leave to save Tanya and like we do the whole fighting pit thing. There's like a whole lot going on. I don't care. We escape. Or so we thought. The way they escaped leads directly into Havik's underground gauntlet of traps and ops. Some of those ops being an Emperor and Empress version of Reiko and Li Mei. Tanya and Rain have generational beef with them, so we handle that. But at some point down there, Sector, Rain, and Tanya get split up from Johnny, Kuai Liang, and Cyrax. Rain and Tanya catch up to Sector in another room where she is cleaning it out. I relish the challenge, she says. But suddenly, the doors around them close and the walls start pushing in. And they're like, oh no, that's bad. Sector works on a way out while Rain uses his water powers to keep the walls at bay. Sector gets the door open, but Rain can't make it to the door without the walls closing immediately. And now there's this surprisingly emotional scene where Tanya wants to stay, but Rain is begging her to go. And eventually Sector has to pull her out. Where is this writing for the rest of the game? Because what I'm seeing right now is them using their best writing on two random characters. Look at the terror on Tanya's face right now. I feel all of that. We went back to back to back to back to back with L's. It's my turn. You said it was my turn, Ed Boon. You know what? I'm done. I quit. You want it so bad, now that I'm here, you can take it, bro. I hereby resign as a fan of Mortal Kombat. Get me to the next, bro. So Tanya talks to a dragon. It makes a portal and sends them to Havik's inner sanctum. And guess who the first line of defense is? What a glorious day to embrace melanin. Sector quickly realizes that this is Bihan, and bro outright confirms it by saying that he's been perfected by Havik's magic. So full context right now, Bihan is brainwashed by Havik, so he's a whole agent of chaos now or whatever. He doesn't care about the Lin Kuei, Sector, Earthrealm, Kuai Liang, none of that. So we end up fighting his goons until we lose sight of him. But as we approach Geras' location, there he is, standing there. Menacingly, Kuai Liang tells the others, I'll handle this one. Well. Have you come to embrace the melanin as I have, brother? Don the opium swagger with me, Kuai Liang, side by side, brother and brother. No, Bihan, this is not the Lin Kuei way. Father did not die for this. Father could never drip like this, Kuai Liang, and you know it. Look at me. Do you not feel my aura? Why must you always deny my leadership, Kuai Liang? No, brother. You know not what horror you speak. I speak the truth, Kuai Liang. You will embrace chaos or succumb to it. Never beyond. Arise, Kuai Liang. Join me and my brethren in the new era of chaos. Tanya and Cyrax go to save Kuai Liang. Cyrax launches a bomb, but Noobs' clone catches it. But it's cool, it's not the cutscenes anymore, bro. I get in there and I wash him. Sector is over his body like, please, we gotta save him, Kuai Liang, please. Kuai Liang is like, nah, that's all you. You can drag him to Liu Kang if you want to, but I'm gonna go find Geras. Then listen to what Sector says.
Kuai Liang has forgotten how to honor his family.
You attacked him at his wedding a few hours ago, gang. Where was the family talk then? And if Cyrax wasn't there to stop them, they would have got Harumi too. I just don't understand the gaslight. We go in there, we find Geras. He wakes up and tells everybody to hurry up and grab the Kami Dogu. They do that, and Geras whips up a sand portal back to Liu Kang's temple. So, we're now in the final act of the game, so I'm gonna talk about the DLC characters that came with the DLC now. Let's go ahead and start with Conan and the T-1000. I think Conan was a bad choice. Now, hold on. I personally don't mind Conan being there. I've never seen a movie or a comic, but from what I hear, he fits right in line with the vibes of Mortal Kombat. But I also recognize that the majority of people today don't know who Conan is and don't care about him. Like, his last movie was in 2011 and it did not do too well. The movies he's most known for came out in the early 1980s. And the thing is, these combat pack spots mean so much to Mortal Kombat fans. People will spend months theorizing who could be on there, bro. What's the vibe? What are they going for? And Conan just isn't popular enough to take up one of those spots. I know Conan has a lot of comics and fans, you know, but do you know who else had like comics and tons of prior history? Omni-Man and Homelander. Brother, you can't tell me that without their shows blowing up to astronomical heights that they would have been in these games. If Omni-Man was in the combat pack to Mortal Kombat X, people would have been looking like, who the hell is that? Bro thinks he's on the team. That's really all that's going on with Conan. If Conan has some show or some movie that really blew up and really got people engaged with him, then nah, bro, it wouldn't be that big of an issue. You know what would really suck though? Like, what if Conan actually turns out to be a really good character, but he's stuck in Mortal Kombat 1? Like, that's a feeling that I'm getting for like a majority of these guest characters. Like Omni-Man, Homelander, Ghostface, they're all stuck in Mortal Kombat 1. But the T-1000, I love Terminator 2. The T-1000 is real cool, bro. That's a real interesting choice. I like that one. Why the hell is he here? We already had a Terminator. I get it, he's a different kind of Terminator, but same destination, new journey. We have access to so many characters, and we can get the rights to so many characters, and it's just like we use Terminator again. Come on. But I can't wait to see what he looks like. Ghostface. Let me start by saying this, bro. This annoyed me so much when Ghostface was announced. Oh, he's just a guy with a knife. Like, bro, I hate when people try to interject realism into video games. Like, the average game doesn't have you doing something crazy. Mortal Kombat has vampires, gods, time travel, dragons, people with superpowers running around. I think people just get so desensitized to the crazy stuff that we see in video games that eventually Goro is just another Tuesday. You know what? Let's try something right now. Reptile. This lizard can talk. No, bro. Do not disregard that. Really think about it. This lizard can talk. That is not normal. That is not realistic. That is impossible. He can shapeshift into a human, but a guy running around with a knife is where you draw the line. No, he could never. But Ghostface is the only character that's out at the time of me making this video. Yeah, he's pretty good. He's pretty good. But why is he in the game now? Like, what took so long to get him? But I love the Scream movies. I love slasher movies in general, bro. So I'm 100% down whenever one of them pop out. The Ghostface they chose to go with was Billy. You know, like the first one. Mikey Madison was my favorite. But a lot of people thought it was going to be Stu. But I'm kind of glad they didn't do that because Stu is played by Matthew Lillard. Everybody loves Matthew Lillard. He is Matthew Lillard. He's Shaggy and William Afton. And I think if they would have chose Stu, then people would have been like, oh, well, he has to have lines. He should do the Shaggy voice. Oh, he should say, I always come back. I could just see it getting a little bit out of hand, you know what I'm saying? If I'm being completely honest though, I'm kind of tired of getting guest characters as a whole, because the cameo system is really starting to get to me like on a psychological level, like I'm going crazy. Shujinko, Tremor, Serena, Chameleon, they're all there. Yet I can't play as any of them. That's crazy, bro. Like, I'll take the Terminator, sure, but where's Taven, bro? Ed Boon. So Liu Kang with the power of the Kamidogu heals Bi-Han. Bro has 3 names now. I don't know what to do. Liu Kang says he fixed Bi-Han's mind, freeing him of Havik's chaos jargon, but his body is a different beast. Bi-Han is totally down to help everybody beat Havik, and he starts telling them how Havik saw all of his memories and knows all our defenses and the portals and things like that. Havik is making immediate use of all of that information because Gang is outside right now with an army. Somehow he got the Kamidogu. I'm sure it's explained, but I don't care. This is the part where I would usually get into the big final fight, but I just don't care. Especially with knowing how this DLC ends. Let's just get into it right now. I'ma say it. Noob Saibot beats Titan Havik. How? So you're telling me that full power plus Kamidogu Titan Havik got beat in a fight by one of his own minions? Brother, do you know what they have just done? No. Man, I'm tired of this, grandpa. Well, that's too damn bad. But you want to know what I realized after beating Havik? What really just hit me smack in the middle of my head? My theory, my game theory, is that this whole DLC expansion is just an origin story for Noob Saibot. Brother, it starts and ends with Bi-Han. Out of all the characters I've talked about, who had like the most going on? Bi-Han. Bro gets to beat the final boss despite Liu Kang being right there. He was like, nah, Liu Kang. He He's mine. Strike first, strike hard, no mercy. He gets character development, not good character development. Like it's there, but it's not really worth much. But damn near everybody from the main story is only there for a second or in the background. And like I've been saying over and over and over again, bro, I'm not taking this multiverse stuff seriously at all. Titan Havik is nothing to be invested in. Bro is one in an infinity. Absolutely nothing is stopping another Titan from showing up. Really, right now, I just want chaos. I love chaos. Chaos, 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 chaos. Why should I care? Bro, Kuai Liang's wedding getting attacked is way more meaningful than the big bad of the story, because it shows just how low Bi-Han is willing to go and how far the rift between them is. It really makes you wonder if he ever cared about Kuai Liang at all. And Kuai Liang's anger at the Link Way is extremely relatable. It's hard not to feel bad for him, but this is all overshadowed by Havik and his chaos thing. Noob being here poses so many questions on what will happen with Bi-Han, the Link Way, Cyrax, Sector. As Bi-Han is fighting before he gets to Havik, you can see him start to realize that his new powers are actually cracked as hell. Bro has a shadow clone that he can summon at any time. Say he misses an attack, the clone can pop up and handle his opponent until he recovers. That's so much more interesting than anything Havik has done. I don't know, bro, like this is not worth $50. So after Bi-Han beats Havik, he wants to finish the job, but Liu Kang says no. Liu Kang, I will not. Bi-Han, please, you gotta chill out. Get your hands off me, robot. Then he charges Liu Kang, but right before he can land a punch, Geras freezes him. Liu Kang was so sure that Geras was gonna come in clutch that he leaned into the punch. That's aura, but does it make up for this? Nah, bro is still in the negatives. Liu Kang then thanks Sector for trying to stop Bi-Han, and I'm gonna go ahead and take that aura right back from Liu Kang, because he is about to make one of the dumbest choices in Mortal Kombat history. He lets Sector go free. Brother, she didn't try to stop Bi-Han because it was the right thing to do. She stopped him because she knows that he wasn't beating Liu Kang in a fight, and Geras was right there too. Plus, the entire Earthrealm team, they are surrounded. Then this idiot tells her to return to the Link Way as the Grand Master. He says that further transgressions against Earthrealm will not be taken lightly. Brother, look at her face while he's talking. That face is universal. You know what that means. She's saying, I don't care. Then she confirms the face with the aura expulsion. Liu Kang right there with Mike. Get him out the way. No, because you want to know what Sector does right after the DLC? She breaks Bi-Han out, and now they can cause chaos in Earthrealm together. I'm done, bro. Listen, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you do around this time, I hope it goes well. I might have one more video for the year, but if not, it's been a great time hanging out with you. We did Batman, Spider-Man, Tekken, The Walking Dead, a little bit of Invincible, which will be back in a few weeks. 10,000 subs to 70K. I appreciate you, but I'ma go ahead and get up out of here.